Hello everyone, this is Zodiark, and this is going to be a quick unit review on Ignacio. But before we move in, a couple points I want to bring up real fast. We got the Steel Castle back up. It dropped earlier today. Modifiers are now on katanas, staffs, rods, and whips. So you can prioritize those if you want this week. Tomorrow we got the challenge event, Lord of Beasts. He's a pig, which classifies him as a beast. We don't have much information on him yet, but according to the in-game content, you're going to want to bring stop, paralysis, confusion resistance, magic because he has high defense, and something about a very strong counterattack. Well, video will be coming tomorrow on that, but for now, let's go ahead and get into quick unit review. So we were curious on Wayham's increased limit break damage. It is only 10%, so not the best in the world. The robot, the booster, did in fact only give one limit break crystal per turn. Not surprising. And as far as Suzume goes, on their TMR, it is 20% when equipped with a katana. Honestly, all of them are worth keeping at least one of. But let's get to the real meat of this, is Ignacio, the unit everybody's kind of more interested in. His TMR, Hero's Vow, is 30% attack with an axe, with an increased 50% attack and accuracy when double-handing a weapon, with 50% limit break fill. And his axe has attack 170 fire with a damage range of 110 to 190. So you can almost be wrecking near double damage with this. Strongest axe in the game by far. Alright, so let's get into his kit. Termination Stamp, double damage, and remove all status effects from one enemy. Not bad to have. Every now and then you need a dispel. Full Steam Ahead, 100% attack for 3 turns to caster. You probably will not be using this because I believe he gets this as a passive. Suction Stamp. It's an HP and an MP drain move. Again, I severely doubt you'll be using this, but if you're hurting for MP, you can go here. Forge Weapon Flame. Add fire element to physical attacks for 3 turns to a single ally and increase the limit break gauge. Very niche ability, but fire imbue is always nice. And then we've got Forge Armor Flame. I see this one being useful. Fire resistance 100% for 3 turns to a single ally and limit break 5. So I suppose if someone like a magic tank needed an additional 100%, it's a great way to get that on there. Burst Stamp, that's going to go to 5.50, I believe, on damage, and limit break fill 3. Now we get into his 6-star abilities. Forge Weapon Flame Blast, 120% offensive buff to all allies for 5 turns, and chance to add fire element to physical attacks 50% of the time for 5 turns to all allies. Now this costs 45 MP and 5 limit break crystals. I don't think this is going to be used very often. You're going to have buffers higher than this anyway, and more often than not, you're just going to bring your own fire elemental weapons. But it's nice to see that he has this in the kit. Call for the Strong. Increase attack 250% for 3 turns with the chance of being targeted. So, I suppose you could have him tank if you want. He's not built for it, but there it is. Forge Armor Flame Blast. Increase defensive stats 120% for 5 turns. And increase fire resistance 100% for 5 turns to all allies. Now, that one's not bad at all. The flat 100% fire resist to everybody is handy. I like that one. Crush Stamp. Let's see. That goes to 5 even. With decreased fire resistance, 75%. So this is the fire debuff move for now that we're looking at. And then when he caps out, you get double stamp and double forge. So that way you'll be able to do either double offensive or double support abilities. 7-star abilities, crit stamp. 5-time multiplier with crit damage applied to that. So it's going to be 5 times damage with the crit modifier put into that as well, 64 MP. So looks like to me that's a finisher move. And then we got cooldown abilities. Every 2 turns. Let's see here. This is going to be about 10.5 multiplier to one enemy. Increase limit break gauge 10 to the caster. And fire imbue. Alright, so that's not bad. Again, that seems like that's a closer. Forging friendships. Now, that can be double casted with twofold forge, by the way. Since it has the word forging in it. 5-turn cooldown. Looks like it has the eccentric ability. 200% limit break fill. And everybody gets an additional 10. So I assume that goes to 20 afterwards. Okay, passives. Let's see. It looks like it's the traditional Veritas abilities. 1800 HP per turn with an increase defense spirit 20%. Let's see. MP 20, attack 30, defense 30. Flame Axe Wielder, which increases his fire resistance by additional 50 when he has an axe equipped. Smithery Know-How. HP 20 with a resistance to blind, paralyze, and petrification. We have yet to get that unit that outright resists paralyze, petrify, confusion, and sleep in a single kit. And I don't think we're going to get that, guys. That'd be way too powerful. HP 30, 50% when equipped with an axe. So that goes along with Flame Axe Wielder. Auto Refresh. Warrior's Forte, which is a baseline attack HP MP 20%, not bad. Smith of Flames, this is when he has his Hero's Vow Fire on. Increase equipment attack 100% and accuracy 25% when double handing, and he gains strike while the iron's hot at the start of battle. We'll discuss in a moment. So essentially that just doubles all the attack values whenever you have his TMR equipped. So that's not bad at all. Stalwart Soldier. Burst. All the stamp moves get an increase in modifiers at 2.25. So a lot of those 5s I was telling you about, throw on another 7. So those go up to about 14, 15-ish as a closer. And that's pretty good. Not only that, he also gets full steam ahead at the start of battle. Defense 20 at 115. And then his 120 passive, Comrade's Legacy. Another attack and HP 30%. And a double limit break fill rate. So if he has Hero's Vow on, that's about 150%, not counting any other moves he's going to be applying. So the way we're looking at it initially, yeah, limit break fill. So basically at the start of the battle, he's going to get, it looks like, triple cast, excluding full steam ahead and call for the strong. So he'll be able to do a lot of skills on the opening rounds of combat, and then he just starts off with 100% attack. So on top of all the passives, double all that. So far, the damage output seems to be pretty good, but let's keep reading on. He has access to Faraga and Faraja. I doubt you'll be using those. Now this is where we're getting to. Limit Burst, Ardent Conflagration. We're going to look at the 7-star base. Alright, so level 1, you're looking at fire physical damage, 10-time multiplier with a backloaded 2 to all enemies. Notice the chain. Divine Ruination. And not only that, the cost of this is 27. So it looks like this guy's going to fill very quickly. At max, you're looking at, and I'm going to round up to 8. So that's 16 minus 0.2, 15.8 multiplier with another 3.5 multiplier to all enemies, Divine Ruination chain. So the way it looks like that he's built is you want to imbue yourself with fire, put the fire debuff on, and then blast them with Ardent Conflagration into a Divine Ruination chain. Alright. You can see he's going to take the usual Awakening Prisms, and then there's his sprites. So what do I think? Well, number one, I see he has no killer passives. So that's unfortunate right there. So there's no Man-Eater, there's no Beast Hunter, there's no nothing. He has no killer passives whatsoever. His support is, as far as his stat increases, he's going to be beat out by anyone like Zargabath or Nickel. He has nothing in the way of breaks except for a 75% fire debuff, which isn't bad. It's nice to have that in his kit. I look at him and he just seems mediocre. He only gets the triple cast at the start of the battle. If the limit break allowed access into the triple cast further in, now you're getting somewhere. Whereas Jet, with his limit break, he can keep maintaining that triple. Ignacio only gets it at the start. That, and he's very axe reliant. So unless you have ignition axe here, you're probably going to be relying on the Thunder Axe, the Viking Axe, maybe even the Moon Axe if you want to go non-elemental. So, honestly, I see that Ignacio's main weapon, unless you're going for Super TMR, severely limited. And again, with a lot of his fire imbues, you almost want to go non-elemental on the Axe. So that puts you back into Moon Axe almost. Okay, but anyway, my thoughts... Yeah, we've got the 11K step-up banner on this. But as always, let's look at what we've already been through. Final Fantasy Farm ends today. We've got Lunar, Chinese New Year. Week 2 is this week. This week is Ignacio Week 1, which means next week is Christ Farming. And normally right around this time, we get another collaboration event. So, Xenogears, maybe? Don't know. But either way, I'm going to play it safe. We're going to wait for news on next week's banner before we make a decision on Ignacio. I honestly think that while he's a very good unit and has excellent capabilities with fire and definitely limit break fill, again, he's just DPS, so him being one-dimensional in that, plus the power creep is going to get real very quickly. I like him as a character. I like his sprite. But it's not enough for me to get motivated to drop 11,000 on a chance that I may not get anything. So what are your thoughts? Are you going to pull? Or are you going to wait for next week and see what we get? As always, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. And I'll keep trying to do more content like this in the future. Tomorrow we'll put up the Lord of the Beasts video. And we'll go from there. So... everyone take care, and if you're pulling, good luck.